Stand by for action.
Greetings, universe! My name is Orbital Bacon, and I am certified G1 and a real freaking prime, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is my army of freaks. They're weird, and they're proud, and you can't teach that. Bada boom! Realest bots in the room, how you doing? Welcome to another live stream. Good to see you all here, glad you all could make it. Kicking off another week, 2 days in. Hope you all are doing well. If you've survived this far, you're made of sterner stuff. Angry Boys, welcome. Oriana, Josephine, Destiny, Starscream, Lord Galvatron, Britt, Delilah, hello. The Bug. Silverstorm. All right, glad you all could make it. Andrew, good to see you all here. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about on this one. I hope you're all strapped in, ready to go. Feeling weird, feeling good. We've got that freaking energy. Thick Dude, what's up? Good to see you here. Butterfly Spirit, all right. Alessandra Reyes. Glad you all could make it. Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Let me get through a few updates here, and then we'll get into the stories that I want to cover today. First off, we've got the link to the Super Chat as well as the merchandise below. New shirts are available, new designs every month. I've got a few new ones here. We've got the Henshin and Rollout. We've got Chow from Evolt. And the one that I just finished today, the Kivat Bat with Bleh. I do not say bleh, bleh, bleh. So those are our new shirt offerings, link below. If you want to support the channel and get some cool merchandise along the way, that's a great way to do it. Next up, we've got the 9-year anniversary. The channel will be 9 years old. Tomorrow to the day, will be 9 years of bacon floating in space. So I want to give a big shout out to you all. Thank you so much for supporting the channel this long, supporting not just the channel, but everything I do, because really I've only been active on this channel for this past year, for the 9.5 or 8.5, I guess, because this year's like six months in. So for the past 8.5 years, it's really been mostly work for other channels, but you all have supported the legacy one way or the other, whether it was the work I was doing on other channels or recent viewers, recent addition to the army of freaks that we've been building here this year. So I want to give you all a thank you, an extra special thank you for that. And tomorrow we'll be doing a special live stream. We'll be having karaoke with like a fundraiser if you want to do song requests. Otherwise, I've got some songs picked out that I'll sing. And then I've also got trivia. We'll be having a couple of guest characters on that you'll go up against in trivia. They're actually going to be going up against you, the chat. That way you guys can play along and see if we can defeat the characters that we have on, and who knows what'll happen. Maybe they'll get ejected like Starscream or something if they lose. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we'll be going at least double length. Normally we go in an hour for streams. We're going to go for at least 2 hours tomorrow in celebration. Just a whole lot of fun stuff planned. So we've got all that going on. Otherwise, it'll just be another fun hangout. Silverstorm asks, will Evolt be here? I'm actually working on setting up an office space for Evolt. You notice how we each have our own little rooms here? Which reminds me, I need to let the Goon Squad introduce themselves. But yeah, I'm working on a space for him so that he can hang out, because otherwise I fear for my own safety. I know I'm Optimus the freaking Prime, but have you seen that guy? He can open up black holes. I don't want to mess with him. So I'm going to make sure he's got his own space. Silverstorm. But it's on the way. He'll be here tomorrow. He won't be here today, but he'll be here tomorrow. The celebration. All right, so let's, without further ado, let's cut to the Goon Squad, let them make their introductions, and then we'll get into the news.
Oh yes, how generous of you, Optimus, to remember us little people here. But yes, good to see you, chat. Destiny, Delilah, Lord Galvatron. Oh, Josephine, hello. It's the Pizza Roll King. That's right, we all love pizza rolls. Andrew, my #1 fan, and you're my #1 favorite member of the chat. Kason Kennedy, hello. Good to see you all, Hunter fan. New to the channel, Hunter fan. Sorry, I mispronounced that. New to the channel, it's good to have you here. Good to see you. If you're not familiar with what we do here, it's basically like a live podcast, interactive podcast scenario. It's sort of to make it easy to understand. Just picture Optimus got his own talk show. You know, we're sort of all a little bored here after the war. We're all a little stir crazy, as it were. And so Optimus decided that he would do a talk show, that he would entertain the masses, spilling out his mindless drivel for all of you to hear, in hopes that he might entertain you. And so, of course, I wouldn't pass up the opportunity to gain a little popularity myself, and so I jumped on board this little endeavor. And so basically, if you're new to the channel, what we do is cut from character to character, giving our thoughts and opinions on current events and topics that might be relevant to us as fans of Transformers and all things science fiction, really. And we try to have a few laughs along the way. So it's good to have you here, those of you that are new to the channel. And I see Bug wants a bonking Starscream shirt. I just hope I don't get ejected. Look, I'll give you all the t-shirts you want. Just don't eject me.
I don't believe the ejection is up to you, Starscream. That decision is Lord Optimus's and Lord Optimus's alone. But should he choose to eject you, I could capture the moment and turn it into a lovely t-shirt. I myself wouldn't mind having merchandise nostalgic of Starscream's many ventures, involuntary explorations into space. Phrasing. That's right, Silverstorm. You always have to be careful with your phrasing around the tube.
All right, Shockwave, I think you're dancing a little too close to the line here. We haven't even gotten started, and you're trying to get us kicked off of YouTube. Mark's Jester, hey Bacon, first time watching your live stream. Well, good to have you here. Thank you. Everyone who's new to the channel, good to see you, good to see you. As Starscream was explaining before, we got a little podcast style here. We're going to cut from character to character and just talk about some events. I hope you're not squeamish to freedom of speech, because we're not going to hold back.
Free speech, superior, censorship, inferior. If you can't handle that, get out now. Otherwise, pull up a seat, grab some extra pizza rolls, and let's get into the news. All right, damn right. Well said, well said. But welcome. I do appreciate the new people showing up, and of course the army of freaks giving them a big welcome. A freakish welcome, a weird welcome. Soundwave, my brother loves you. Oh, look at that. You got more fans, Soundwave. I see that Soundwave is able to gain popularity easier than me. A little jealous. All right, well, to bring up our first story, I actually have a new special guest. Speaking of cutting to different characters, I brought in a new special guest today to talk about our first story. Damn it, the vocoder was on. I'm still getting over the corona. That's what happens. That's what happens when I get a sore throat. All right, so you people that are new to the channel, you'll learn that sometimes I get a sore throat. And that's what happens. I end up sounding like Soundwave. It's out of my control. But when I catch on, I just gotta clear my throat. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying. Yes, Galvatron, I am. Look, just roll with it. We can't question it too much or we'll get deactivated. Big corporations will come after us and say, you can't be immune to it. It's impossible. You're gonna die. You have to be afraid. Be scared, everybody. Be scared. We're just gonna leave it at that. I should get Ratchet on here. Ratchet. Where's Ratchet? I should get Ratchet on here. Get him to give his expertise. Marks, when you get sick, your wings turn red. Well, it affects everybody differently. That's what I hear. All right, anyway. So, as I was saying, we've got new characters that I want to bring on. There's the regular Goon Squad, which you just met, which is Starscream, Shockwave, Wheeljack, and Soundwave. And of course, Waspinator will pop up from time to time. We mentioned Evolt earlier. Bruticus has showed up. But we've got a few new characters that I want to bring on. So to get our first story started, let's bring on the one and only Megatron. Oh, great. Yes, do I get to entertain the idiots now? I mean, they're not idiots. They're your army. They're great people, I know. Yes. Anyway, pull up the first story. Get this chat off of here. I don't want to talk to them. I've got news to discuss. The idiots on Twitter are trying to cancel another fictional character. Alright, here we go. Disney is dropping the Slave name, Slave 1 name for Boba Fett's ship, prompting an outcry from Star Wars fans and the actor of Boba Fett. Oh, who would imagine? Who would think that fans might get a little upset if you start changing things that have been around for decades for no reason? Who would have guessed? Oh, you never would have thought, eh? You might make longtime fans a little upset if you start messing with all their stuff. Who'd have thunk it? Well, this story comes from Yahoo Entertainment. Let's see what they have to say. For several years now, Disney and Lucasfilm have worked to evolve Star Wars, diversifying the cast, and most recently the cinematic trilogy and spin-offs, as if Star Wars wasn't already diverse. I don't think they've seen the original trilogy. You know, it had characters like Princess Leia and Lando Calrissian as main characters that had heavy impact on the story. They were very important. I guess they never saw the original trilogy. I wouldn't be surprised. The focus that Disney calls universal values even led to the dismissal of Mandalorian cast member Gina Carano. So what Disney is claiming here is that they have universal values. Values they want to see across all their brands. Except, of course, when they're pandering to China. Then they don't care. They don't care that China outlawed gay marriage and feminism. I'm not even lying. Go look it up. China outlawed feminism. But that's okay for Disney. They'll edit out all the lesbian kisses. That's not part of their universal values. But that's okay. That's what they said is why they got rid of Gina Carano. A strong female character. Nonetheless, they're attempting to bring inclusivity to Star Wars because they're under the impression it didn't exist already. And their attempt has been met with backlash from a small but vocal group. They say small but vocal, yet their sales plummet. Han Solo, a Star Wars movie, was the first Star Wars movie in history to lose money. I guess it's a small group of Star Wars fans lamenting the saga's, quote, social justice warriors and woke approach to its latest endeavors. Yes, we just don't like you messing with our stuff for no reason. How about that? Give us good stories. Stop focusing on silly things. Like characters' diversity that already has been in the franchise for decades. Just give us good stories, you ninnies. Now some Star Wars fans are mad again, this time at a Lego set. Notice how they trivialize. You know, I like these writers, these journalists. I'm gonna put their name in quotes. These journalists. I like their tactics. Undermining the enemy. By saying, oh, you're just mad at a Lego set. You're just mad at toys. Get over it. That's a brilliant tactic. I should hire these journalists as part of the new Decepticons. Whenever I feel like rising up again and causing a little trouble with the Autobots, starting another war, these journalists would make excellent Decepticons. What a tactic! Trivialize. Of course we're not mad at a Lego set. Idiots. As originally noted by the fan site, the new Mandalorian-themed toy line features beloved bounty hunter Boba Fett's spaceship. However, its traditional Slave 1 moniker has been changed to Boba Fett's starship. That's right. We're not even gonna make up a new name for it. Get over it. You bunch of man-babies. What, are you mad at a Lego set? We're not even gonna bother coming up with a new name. It can't be the Slave 1 anymore. That's problematic. It's no good to have the name of the ship whose character, the pilot, who it belongs to, he hunts people down, traps them, and then sells them off to the highest bidder. You know, kind of like slaves. But we can't have the ship called the Slave One. No. In fact, that would be counterproductive to Boba Fett. He's already the most feared bounty hunter in all the galaxy, right? So he's at an unfair disadvantage because all of the targets, all of the bounties out there, they know who he is. They recognize the name. They go, oh, Slave One. Oh, I'm not going anywhere near that. That's Boba Fett. He's gonna freeze me in carbonite, sell me to Jabba the Hutt or some other fat ass. I can't have that. I've got to stay away. So Boba Fett's at an unfair disadvantage. So instead, what they do, let's call it Boba Fett's Happy Fun Time Palace. Yes, he's got a ball pit and one of those bouncy jumping castles inside. It's the Happy Fun Time Palace. All the targets will run right in. They'll think it's fucking Chuck E. Cheese. That way none of the babies will cry that it's got the word slave in it. It won't trigger any of the Twitter dummies with the word slave, because that'll just ruin somebody's entire weekend. They'll be shaking in the corner all weekend if they see the word slave on their Lego toy. So let's just call it the Boba Fett Happy Fun Time Palace. Instead of freezing in carbonite, we'll put them in a ball pit and have them jump in the bouncy castle. Yeah, you're not getting sold off. You're not getting sold off to some intergalactic gangster. No, we're going to fucking Chuck E. Cheese. Grab your pizza rolls, you Twitter dummies. And as they stated, as this brilliant deceptive tactic, trivialize it, say, oh, we're just mad at the Lego set. No. We know what you're doing. You can't outsmart. You're so stupid you get mad at the word slave. That's been around. It was never a problem. The ship has been called the Slave One this whole time. Yet you wanna pretend like you're smarter than us, like you're outsmarting us. Come on. Anyway, isn't it bad luck for a ship to not have a name? I don't know if that's just an Earth superstition. I don't know if all races throughout the galaxy, all alien life, practices that same superstition. But it's bad luck for a ship to not have a name. Per the definitive Star Wars reference site Wikipedia, Fett's heavily modified Fire Spray 31 class patrol and attack craft formerly belonged to his father Jango. While originally built as a police craft with cells to transport criminals, Fett revamped the holding area into prisoner cages.
Eat shit, Kelvin. Prisoner 1 is not a good replacement name. And they're changing the names on toys and cartoons because they're targeting our children.
Thank you for the donation, Deplorable, and that's an excellent point. It's too easy to trivialize the thing, say, oh, you're mad at a toy set, or to try to argue it away like, oh, it's just, we're just gonna replace the name with Prisoner 1. Why? You don't need to. There's a reason they're doing it. They said it. They stated it clearly. For their universal values. And we all know how serious they take those. It says here in the description about how he turned the cells into prisoner cages. What do you put in prisoner cages, Kelvin? Disney did not immediately respond to Yahoo's request for comment as to whether the vessel's original name will be completely scrubbed from the galaxy. However, the name Slave One is still in use on the official StarWars.com site. Well, of course, they're not going to give up the copyright to it. People would start making merchandise. They still want their money. Let's not forget we're dealing with a corporation here. Anyway, that's all I can talk about Star Wars. There's another story, but I can't talk about these idiots anymore. Starscream, I'm handing it over to you.
Oh, well, thank you, Megatron. I mean, nice of you to think of me, actually. I thought you'd be mad at me or something.
No, I just want you to feel my pain. That's all.
Oh, right, of course. Couldn't be anything like that. All right, so yes, the craziness, to put it nicely, in Star Wars doesn't end there. Josilla says, "Please, Megatron, blow up the Earth." Yes, I think I think it's time. I think it's time. Mark says one Star Wars ship was literally called the Vessel. And there was a literal rock called Geode. Yeah, their creativity is at an all-time low, Mark's Jester. They are what I like to call creatively bankrupt. There's nothing there. They didn't even try. It's just Boba Fett's starship. I mean, honestly. Lord Megatron had more creativity there than his little finger just going off on a rant about it. I don't know that they even took the time. I wonder if they just typed it into Google like synonyms. He's got a spaceship, but we can't just call it a spaceship. A starship. Ooh, I like that. That's what they did. But look, the insanity doesn't end there. The fans want another Mandalorian actress fired amid controversy. So, Gina Carano was mentioned in the last story by Lord Megatron about Disney's universal values. Oh, it's delightfully deceptive. I think I need to start working for Disney. Disney, if you need a good Decepticon, if you want a sneakiest of all sneaks, hire me, call me. Anyway, yes, all hail Starscream. That's right, Josephine, thank you. So anyway, fans want another Mandalorian actress. So they first went after Gina Carano because of her, quote, troublesome tweets or problematic tweets, whatever. She made fun of a few things that people don't like to have made fun of. And she also made a very good point about not judging your neighbors too harshly for having different political views. And you know what they did? They said, oh, those different views, we're going to judge you very harshly. You need to be canceled for it. Thus proving her right. So they got rid of her. And now sights are set on another strong female character. It's funny how they say, oh, we need more strong female characters. We need that diversity and that sweet, sweet inclusion. And yet they keep targeting their diverse, inclusive characters. Because first it was Gina Carano, who was a strong female character, and now it's Sasha Banks. As I call her Sasha Banks as a fan of WWE, but here she's a strong female character of color. It's a diversity double whammy, and they want her gone. Getting rid of her. It's ridiculous. So if you watched The Mandalorian Season 2, it was difficult to avoid the online controversy surrounding Cara Dune, as I just mentioned. Opposing hashtags of Fire Gina Carano and hashtag We Love Cara Dune trended for months. Eventually, what ended up happening, they got rid of her, and Disney Plus didn't... it's not like they tanked or anything. Obviously, they're still around. It was never the point to put them out of business, but they certainly lost a good percentage of subscribers, enough to notice it. And there were talks, Forbes magazine mentioned how Disney's management of the situation was quite hypocritical, and they sort of questioned it rather harshly. That's a very well-known and respected business magazine, business publication. I don't know if they're just online now, if they still do paper publications, but it's a respected publication that questioned Disney's management of the situation. And of course, there was plenty of support for Gina Carano. I, for one, love Cara Dune. And now another Mandalorian actress is coming under fire for similar social media post. Twitter is just the worst. Can we end it already? Can we just wipe it off the face of the planet? Mercedes Varnado, which is the real name of Sasha Banks. I referred to her as Sasha Banks earlier because, as I said, I'm a WWE fan. So she's sort of more often known as Sasha Banks, but Mercedes Varnado is her real name. She plays the Mandalorian Night Owl warrior Koska Reeves, as you can see the picture here, in 2 episodes of the 2nd season of The Mandalorian. She appeared alongside Star Wars character Bo-Katan and Axe Woes, as well. Well, these are just details about the show, doesn't matter. What happened was the WWE superstar, Sasha Banks, has come under fire for liking a particular Instagram post. She liked the post. She didn't make the post. Let's clarify. Wow, this sounds awfully familiar. People getting mad for liking things. You didn't even make the post. But that's not the point here. But yeah, so she liked the post. Didn't create it or anything. And it was on Instagram. And people feel like it would incite drama reminiscent of the Gina Carano situation. Banks liked a post by Annis Insights, I don't know who that is, but that's the person who made the post, that shared a number of opinions about not receiving the COVID-19 vaccination. So, regardless of what your stance is there, this is someone's opinion on it. They have every right to share their opinion. So someone on Instagram shared their opinion with a little meme here referencing American Psycho, Christian Bale, great movie. And quite a wordy description here, but shared several opinions that she has every right to share. And Sasha Banks clicked that little heart icon right there. That's all she did. And people are in an uproar. Star Wars fans and some professional wrestling fans on social media are asking for the SmackDown Women's Champion to be fired from the Star Wars franchise, just like Gina Carano. Get rid of her. A Twitter user going by Dreamander was frustrated, writing, "Just found out Sasha Banks is an anti-vaxxer. Oh, it ruined his weekend. He's in a shaking. He's in the corner, literally shaking. He's literally shaking right now. It ruined his whole weekend. Found out Sasha Banks is an anti-vaxxer. How dare she have an opinion? Can't believe it." So yes, because she has an opinion, they want her gone. Sasha Banks liked anti-vaccine posts on Instagram. She hasn't said anything herself, but still, she liked it. I can't take the liking. The liking hurts me.
This is why you're a little bitch, Starscream. Because liking posts hurts you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lord Megatron. I just can't get over the insensitivity of some people. Why would they like such harmful tweets? I can't even say it with a straight face. This is so stupid. And that's coming from me. And I'm stupid. Even I think this is dumb. Someone with a little bit of sense here said, "Leave Sasha Banks alone. If she doesn't trust or want the shots, it's her body. That's right. What happened to my body, my choice, especially for women? I mean, that's really what it was always about anyway. What happened to that?" A lot of double standards or inconsistency. I think that's what people have a problem with, really. It doesn't really matter what your opinion is here. I'm not here to tell you what opinion you should have on these topics or what the right opinion is. I'm simply sharing these topics with my own spin on it, of course. But it's the inconsistency, which is basically hypocrisy, really, that me and a lot of other people have a problem with. You know, so you say some things are okay to say, but some things aren't. Really, it's all or nothing. Really, you can't cherry pick just what you like and get mad at the people who say things you don't like. So I think that's the problem most people have. So like I said, I'm not here to tell you what opinion you should have or what's the right or wrong. You can have whatever you want, whether I were to agree with it or not. Have it by all means, share it by all means. But allow others to do the same. This is ridiculous.
Alright. Let's take a little breather, chat. I'm gonna let Starscream sounds a little upset. The chat's giving him hugs. You guys are awesome. I think we're gonna take a breather from that and start covering some other stuff. I say take a breather, it's gonna be just as insane. You thought it was over? Hell no. I hope you're all made of sterner stuff, like I know you are, 'cause you're the army of freaks. But get ready, 'cause we're moving on, moving ahead. I'll catch up with the chat though real quick. Mark says, I'm all right, loving this podcast. Much better news source than CNN. Thank you, I appreciate that, Marks. I strive every day to be better than CNN. I just have to tell you the truth. I think that's all I have to do. They might have the better production value. There's two things I got that they don't got. The truth and a matrix of leadership. I can transform and I can tell the truth. See, Alex, that's a wonderful point right there. It's like if, Jenny McCarthy is anti-vax, but you can still find her a babe. I mean, I don't have a problem with her being anti-vax. It's like whatever. But regardless of your opinion on it, you can still find her, a babe, as you put it, or whatever, quality Bobo. I'm just saying, you can still enjoy people's work, content, if they're your friends, their family, their company, you don't have to get so mad just because they say stuff you don't like. Word. Anyway, all right, so yeah, you thought it was over? It's not over. We got more stories to cover. We'll get out of the realm of Star Wars and we'll go into Transformers, as you saw the title of the video. We talked about Boba Fett getting canceled. Let's talk about Transformers. About Grimlock. It's not really Grimlock though. It's this new set that's coming out. Arconis, join the freaking army of primes. Thank you. Welcome. Your orders are to be weird and be proud. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing.
They use a sham of moral superiority as an excuse to justify the immoral actions they want to take because they are deranged and insane. Once you dehumanize your opponent, you can do whatever you want to them. Like the Nazi Party did to the Jews.
Deplorable, thank you for the donation. And yes, that's sort of what I believe Megatron and Starscream were poking fun at, is using the undermining tactic, sort of turning people against each other and using undermining tactics to trivialize things or make things seem worse than they are or not as bad as they are one way or the other to get people against each other. Neighbor versus neighbor. It's terrible. But thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. Donations are never required, but they are always appreciated. It's what helps keep me in orbit. Let me get a drink of water here. Too much Energon wine, not enough water. Alright, so first off, we've got some Transformers news to go over, a few things. Lots of new stuff has been released over the past few days. First off, we've got news that Ron Perlman will be the voice of Optimus Primal in the upcoming Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Ron Perlman last voiced Primal in the Machinima Power of the Primes trilogy, which didn't necessarily go over the best with fans as a whole, But there were a few cool performances, a few nice Easter eggs in there, and I thought Ron Perlman being Optimus Primal was all right. I think he'll be able to do a better job here simply because it's a Hollywood level production. He'll have more direction, things like that. But I'm looking forward to it. And it's funny that they put the colors here, orange and black, because he's best known, at least in my opinion, as Slade from the Teen Titans. He delivered an excellent performance as this character. He was in almost every season. The show ran for about 5 seasons. He was in at least 3 or 4 of them as like the reoccurring main villain, and delivered such a great performance. He's super menacing. He's been a few other characters over the years. He's actually done a lot of voice acting. I know people know him as Hellboy. What other movies? He was in Pacific Rim. He's done a lot of live action movies, but he's done a lot of voice acting. He was Slade in the Teen Titans, as pictured here. He was also, I believe it was Raiden in the old Mortal Kombat cartoon, which is a little more obscure, but just interesting places where I see him pop up. Or was he? No, I think Clancy Brown was Raiden. I think Ron Perlman was Stryker. Oh, that's so much worse. I think he was Stryker. Oh no. Anyway, but yeah, so that's actually some fun news. Like I said, we do get a little breather here from the Insanity, which is some cool news that Ron Perlman will be the voice of Optimus Primal. So what do you guys think of that? Hopefully you're excited. I know that a lot of people were looking forward to, or hoping that Gary Chalk might get to reprise his role as Primal. But I know that with movies, they tend to go for either a different sound with the characters sometimes, or they go for the market value. So, or the marketability, I guess you could say, value. Because Gary Chalk, if you put that name on a poster, yeah, the fans know who he is, but the average Joe doesn't really know who he is. So you put Ron Perlman on the poster, people, oh, it's Hellboy. Oh yeah, I know that guy. The other thing is what happened with Megatron in the original Bayverse movies, where Hugo Weaving ended up being Megatron over Frank Welker. Is Frank Welker actually auditioned, and they thought it was a little too cartoony. They wanted to go with something a little more serious sounding, and because Hugo Weaving, even though he's well known for his roles, Agent Smith, and he was in Lord of the Rings. The character's name escapes me right now, but unfortunately, I don't know that he has as much of a marquee value. But that's the thing, is they actually thought Frank Welker sounded a little too cartoony, and so he didn't get to appear as Megatron until later on. Even though Frank Welker did voice some other characters. But that may be why they went with Ron Perlman over Gary Chalk. There could be any number of reasons, but what do you guys think? Are you excited for that? I for one, am fine with it. I think that he'll deliver, or at least, at the very least, has the capability to deliver a really good performance, so I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so, speaking of Beast Wars, let's talk about this Jurassic Park crossover that was released recently, or at least the images. Transformers has been doing a lot of crossover stuff lately. They had Gigawatt with the Back to the Future DeLorean. They had the Blackbird from the X-Men. They had the Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters. They're just doing several crossover things, and so the next one that they are doing here is Jurassic Park. Now, this to me feels like a missed opportunity because as you saw in the title, it's not that they actually made Grimlock a girl. That's not what they did. They just made it a new character, but it's female. And, not that, oh, you can't have female Transformers. I don't have anything against female Transformers. You know me. I'm a fan of quality Bobo as much as the next guy. Bring on the fembots. Alita, if you're out there, you know I love you. But yeah, it's nothing against having female characters, but when this is very clearly not a female, this is the Beast Wars Megatron. So you had two missed opportunities, not just one. Because you could have used Grimlock, because we've got two pre-existing Tyrannosaurus characters at the very least. I mean, there's probably more like really obscure ones or something that I'm forgetting. Like what wasn't one of Soundwave's tapes, a T-Rex or something, Overkill or something like that. There's probably more T-Rex characters than I'm remembering. But the two big ones, the two ones that most people would know, I mean, especially with Grimlock, like even casual fans know Grimlock. T-Rex right there could have been Grimlock. Or Beast Wars Megatron. I mean, you tie it into Kingdom, tie it in with the anniversary, all this other stuff. But instead, they opted to go with making it a female character. And see, here's the thing. Like I said, it's not that there's anything wrong with having female characters. It's how they chose to do it. Not only did they miss those opportunities for epic homages to beloved characters that are already T-Rexes, but we know what they're doing. We know what they're doing with this. That's why it's Grimlock is ma'am. Me, Grimlock, want to see your manager. Turn Grimlock into a Karen. But no, this pushes their recent agenda of saying that we Cybertronians can't have gender or anything except when we do, and it's convenient for them, but that's beside the point. Yeah, Dinobot Slash, the Raptor. And see, that's the thing. The Raptors, so of course the T-Rex is iconic to Jurassic Park, but the Raptors are easily just as iconic, if not more so at this point, because at this point with Blue and all that from the recent movies, Raptors, it's like people want them as a pet now. And there's a female Dinobot Raptor. So you could have brought her in. You could have had either Beast Wars Megatron or Grimlock done this awesome homage. This in no way looks like a female Cybertronian. And if you say, oh, they don't, why do they have to look like females? They're giant alien robots. Well, why are we bipedal and have hands with 5 digits and opposable thumbs? And we speak. We don't communicate wirelessly like electronics actually would.
Don't tip me, Optimus. I may just replace everyone's voice box with a Bluetooth wireless emitter. That way I would never have to hear any of you again. You would just send your text wirelessly into my brain.
You think that wouldn't backfire, Soundwave? Be in your head. Be in your mind.
You're right. On second thought, scratch that. Let's continue to use voices like humans even though it makes no sense.
Exactly, Soundwave. See? This is what happens when you try to make sense out of giant alien robots who turn into cars. It all just starts to unravel. So yeah, I'd rather just have a little fun. Just poking fun at it. But yeah, I think that, in my opinion, we could have gotten an awesome homage to the characters that already turn into dinosaurs. I know that Beast Wars Megatron just got a Kingdom figure because that's what this is a repaint of, which is why I bring up Grimlock. And if you say, oh, but Grimlock just got a Studio Series figure. Yeah, but that's of his G1 metal dinosaur. This could have been some cool Beast Wars style version of Grimlock where in robot mode, because it kind of has his colors in robot mode with the red and black there, and the head sculpt is very reminiscent of Grimlock. It's got the red visor and the faceplate. So it could have been like a Grimlock style robot mode, and then the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. And then I know people are going to say, oh, but all the dinosaurs in the movie were females. Yeah, at first. Don't you remember what Jeff Goldblum's crazy ass said? Life finds a way. He didn't stay female. That's just a silly argument, like the people who are trying to say, oh, Loki Loki can be gender fluid because in the Norse mythology, he turned into all sorts of crazy shit to bang whatever he wanted to bang. But he did that through magic. Not the same. Yeah, I just feel like it was a missed opportunity. Now, on the bright side, because it is a 2-pack, so this is how they get you. This is how they get you, because on the bright side, the other bot in the 2-pack turns into the Jeep, that they took the tour in, and the T-Rex ended chewing up, like, 2 of them. He's, like, ripping them apart. The kids were trapped in them. That is such a classic scene. One of the most iconic scenes, right? So this guy right here, I don't know, do they say what his name is? Let's see. I don't see his name, Ford Explorer. I don't see his name written here yet. They're just saying what car he is. But anyway, this guy, GP93, Autobot GP93. I guess that's his name. I thought that was just the make and model of the car. But I guess that's his name, Autobot GP93. Anyway, he's the Jeep that they were touring in. But if you notice there, he's got a hat. He's wearing a hat. Anytime robots or common riders, like somebody in armor, anytime something like that's wearing a hat or a cape or something that doesn't make sense, I love it. So this is an instant win. Let's be real. It'd be easy enough just to pretend that's Grimlock. It's not like they made it look female at all. They're just saying that it is. So I'm just going to say that that's Grimlock. And this guy, GP93, I don't know. He needs a better name than that. We should name him after the guy who was like, shoot her! Clever girl. You know that guy? Because he's wearing the hat like him. I don't remember that guy's name, but that should be this guy's name. And then we can forget that too. What do you guys think? What do you think, chat? Would you get the 2-pack? Would you get the 2-pack and just keep it as is? Are you fine with the new character? Or would you say, for me, this is going to be Grimlock, or this is going to be whatever? And does the Jeep character appeal to you? GP93. I think he looks awesome. What do you guys think? I'm going to bring up the chat, catch up with you guys here as we close it out. That was all the news that we had to cover today. There was some new footage from War for Cybertron on Netflix that revealed Nemesis Prime. But I'm going to save discussion on that until the episodes are actually out and I can just do a review on it. Because right now it's like, oh, look at that. There's a screenshot, a still image, and this character's going to be there. And there's not really much more to say beyond that. But did you enjoy this style of live stream? I was trying to do more of a podcast style, discussing the news, going over topics, shifting from character to character to have each one having a topic rather than at random. So did you enjoy this new style, or do you prefer the more random hangout? And of course, Saturdays we'll still be having Q&As with guest characters and doing fun activities on Wednesdays with VR games and whatnot. Tomorrow, of course, is the celebration, the 9-year anniversary of the channel, so 9 years of bacon celebration tomorrow, so be sure to stop by. But I hope you enjoyed it. We'll do something like this every Tuesday, where we'll catch up on the news, discuss whatever insanity might be going on in the world. Wednesdays will be our hangout time, and Saturdays will be guest character days with Q&As or other activities with special guest characters. That should be the new format going forward. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for the 9 years of bacon celebration. And with that, This is Optimus the freaking Prime, telling you to stay weird and stay proud. Until then, signing off.